Okay, so today I want to look at Enzo Maresca to City. Man City is looking at their first season without Pep Guardiola, and there's some major changes that are going to come with how the team is now managed and how the team's going to move forward. And I kind of want to look at the team. And in these first two preseason games and how they've kind of set up and how potentially they could look into moving towards a post Pep era for City. So I got this team lined up right here, and in the first two games of this preseason, they lost to Inter and they beat the K League All Stars. They've lined up in this formation right here to start the game in what is a four back formation with two pivots and a 4-2-3-1 pretty much. How it differs within the during the game it lines up a lot differently within possession and without possession. But one of the major things that I'm slowly seeing is that this right back right here is going to very much slot into this midfield, and it pushes this center back and this center back, and it looks like instead of this left back who's always kind of bolting in that overlap, he drops into here within possession. So now it looks like it turns into a little bit of a three back formation. So let me just move these guys up a bit. So it turns into this three back formation. So what this does is it pushes Nunes in this case. It pushes Nunes here inside, and then this becomes a pivot. And Doku goes out wide, Cherokee out wide here, and we put Foden. This was not the lineup heading into these preseason games, but I'm just kind of going based on what I think might be potentially their lineup to start the season. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that could potentially look in the squad rotation as well. But Reinders usually will push up here, and this is how it ends up looking like. It looks like a 3-2 and 3-2-5, pretty much a 3-2-5 within possession. So what it does is it pushes this left back here into the center back role, and this is how they line up within possession. How this is going to work within previous years, we definitely saw these fullbacks push up a lot higher for Pep Guardiola, but it looks like they're going to play more of a central role within that possession. I think this role right here is going to play a major part in providing that diamond. City like to have. They've always had this tendency to play in diamonds, and this right here could be huge for their possession and creating that diamond up in the field. So you'll have this diamond to push up, and then what happens is you'll be able to progress the ball up. So if you have the ball right here, Gehi, who's also a good ball playing center back, along with somebody like Gvardiol. And I think Gvardiol is going to be a major piece of this team. Nico O'Reilly is definitely going to be playing. I think Nico O'Reilly might shift into that midfield role, and I can definitely see him shifting into this role right here. And that would probably take out maybe a Reinders, and he could definitely walk into this role right here because Gvardiol is probably the most versatile center back that they have. Mark Gehi's really good, but he can't play any of the fullback roles. Diaz is a bit slow. And Gvardiol has the pace to go up and down the field, but also play the ball. And I think him playing left back and then shifting into this center back role is a huge advantage. And we saw that in their last preseason game because Nori, who's usually the left back, was playing that left mid role, and he was really pushing that sideline. And it was Gvardiol who dropped deep into that left back role. So what we can do is here, I'll take Nori out of here, and I think Doku will definitely be the one starting. He's going to push this byline here, and I think Nico O'Reilly might slot into this midfield role with Elliot Anderson. And Nico O'Reilly has shown a lot of ability to push forward and get ahead into the game. So he could easily go push forward here, and Anderson could stop here, and it could be a Nunes Anderson pivot with Gvardiol, Gehi, and Diaz as your three. I think I would take Diaz out and I'd put Kusanov in just because of the pace Kusanov brings. Kusanov has the ability to run up and down the field. He's probably the paciest center back that they have, and I think that allows them to a little bit more versatility and a little bit more ability to stop the counter, because Guardiola and Kusanov are able to kind of keep up with that pace. So what happens here is, now it looks like they're good. This is how they would probably set up in going forward. Nico O'Reilly won't be able to kind of make those runs inside. I think these two positions right here is going to be very interesting, because I think Doku will definitely be one of them. Will Cherokee play out wide, or will it be a pivot between him and Foden in a rotation? Because I think it would make a lot more sense for someone like Savinho, who has that pace, and someone who can get behind, but also Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo, who's a big body, who's able to run up and down the field. I think he can really cause some problems within the press as well. So you can have Doku and Semenyo both pushing the line here, and then you just kind of have to pick between Cherokee and Foden, who you kind of want to play. For now, let's just put, as much as it hurts to take Foden out, and for now, we'll just put Cherokee in there, and Cherokee could probably anchor these areas right here, and then Nico O'Reilly can push up, and then this is how they would look within possession. I think this would probably be the strongest team going forward. I think, just in my opinion, based on what I've seen, and again, one of the big questions here is who is going to replace Rodri. Rodri, as we know, is as but confirmed, but he is very much leaving. It looks like he's going to Barcelona at this point. So I think somebody needs to replace that midfield, and I think Elliot Anderson is going to do a great job there. But is there anyone else? And I think Kovacic showed a lot of promise in the preseason in being able to be that press resistant player, and someone who can drop deep even if they have to create this within possession. James, you gotta fix this, James, but this just gets stuck, and I don't know how to fix that. But what it is you kind of drop back here, and Kovacic is perfect to kind of play it out here, kind of hold up the possession here, and he's very press resistant. I think Kovacic, if he can still stay healthy, I think he can be very much a big part of this team going forward, especially for Enzo Maresca, and creating that ability to progress that ball forward. But I think this is their best lineup. I think this is how they'll line up heading into the season. I like Nico O'Reilly in the midfield as much as I love him playing left back. If they are going to push the left back down here into more of a center back role, it doesn't make any sense for Nico O'Reilly to drop back here, because he is at his best pushing forward. So if he can take a position in the midfield with Anderson, and it moving like this, and he'll be able to push up here. Anderson can kind of move inside here, and then Nunes can drop back here, and he creates that verticality going forward. So it really pushes forward. That's how I see them going forward. I don't know how it's going to look defending-wise. I do think they are a bit vulnerable going backwards, I think, on the counter. That's why I do want Guardiola and Kusanov both playing at the same time, as they provide that pace and that recovery pace, especially with Semenyo and Doku, who are very pacey as well, but they won't be tracking back as much. And if you have someone like Nico O'Reilly who's really pushing forward, now you're stuck with Anderson and Nunes. And Anderson and Nunes can do a really good job. So they'll be able to defend the midfield, but when it goes out here into this area, these two areas, they could be a bit vulnerable. That's why I do want Kusanov. I think Kusanov is going to be very crucial. Him and Guardiola are going to be very crucial in this formation and in this system in order for them to do well. You have someone like Diaz who has a lot of experience. I think he can slot in and out for Yehi. But again, Diaz he's getting up there. He's almost 30. I don't think he has the pace to kind of keep up with what the system is looking for. I think Foden can interchange with Cherokee here. Reinders is also somebody who's shown that he is very much capable in preseason. He's dropping into these roles right here and progressing and bringing up the ball forward. Or you can put him in here, and he can really play that 10 role, which he's best at. He's best at. He's a number 10. Like, he's not an 8, he's not a 6 that a lot of people thought he wasn't in it before, but I think he can really use this role in pushing forward. So he's another player. There's a lot of rotational pieces here. I'd be curious to know. My biggest question is going to come with, where is Nuri going to play? Nuri, if the left back position is here, Nuri and O'Reilly need new positions, and I think Nuri, we've seen against the K-League All-Stars, he was playing that left wing position, and I think that's a great role for him. I think he is really good going forward. He does provide that width, So it's not a bad role for him. Someone like Savinho could also thrive in that rotation with Semenyo as they go forward. But that's kind of how I see them going forward. This is how I see Enzo Maresca is kind of starting off his tenure at City. I'd be curious to know what you guys think, but I'm very hesitant on how they might go forward. There's a lot of question marks. The preseason has been up and down. The Inter game, the playing out the back was not the best. Donovan was not the best playing out from the back, but I do think there's a possibility that we could could have some issues back there. But yeah, let me know what you think, and